BFF action, as always. We've met up with the Mech contestants earlier. They have some words for each other, live from their mechs.
No sound. Oh, yay sound. I think.
Yay sound. Take it away.
Not brave enough to fight death alone. Death's whisper can take as many as you have. Be prepared, for your final auditory experience will be the whisper of my neck crushing yours into 1,000 tiny pieces.
You know, Victor, that Death's Whisper really frightens me. I mean, really frightens me.
Chilling stuff. I've been in this game a long time, Bill, as have you, and I don't think I've ever seen a competitor quite as terrifying as Death's Whisper.
Our opponents, they've got their work cut out for them tonight.
Absolutely. Let's check in with the first. Oso Grande.
When they told me that it was gonna be me and Judas against Death's Whisper, I told them I didn't need anyone else. But they realized I might not have stopped. The words and the things she said to me fill me with an unholy rage. Judas isn't there to help me. He's there to stop her from dying.
Already only the second promo in, we've got actual death threats, Bill.
Strong words from Oso Grande.
This is the kind of action you've come to expect from the BFF Wrestling Federation. More up from Oso Grande's partner, Judas Paradigm.
Always love the big giant battles. They figure it'll be a nice spectacle putting two little mechs up against one big scary one. I'm sure it will be a joy to watch. I'm positive you'll enjoy every minute of it. Death's Whisper, I know how familiar it will be for you to be assaulted by two men at once in their giant robot vehicles. But beware. They say the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Isn't that what they say? It is? Okay, good. Later then.
Wily veteran Judas Paradigm.
Absolutely.
Never know what to expect.
Absolutely. Some scandalous words from Judas, which we've come to expect over these many years. A decorated former champion trying to work his way back into contention.
A success here tonight would be really beneficial towards that momentum.
Absolutely. And Judas you can never count out. Between his experience and Oso Grande's natural athleticism, they should pose a very formidable pair against Death's Whisper.
It is going to be an exciting match, Victor.
Absolutely, Bill. Coming up next on Battle Mech Fighting Federation. I always remember the acronym, Bill. It's the damnedest thing.
It was your father's company.
Well, I know.
Let's take you live to the ring where it's about to begin. Oso Grande seems to be the quickest on the draw.
Not surprising, the young man out to a hot start.
She's pinned. I'm a charger.
And a charge right out the gates, successfully impacting into the body of Death's Whisper. What a hit!
Throwing caution to the wind, but that's what we've come to expect from Oso Grande.
9 hit locations. But she's not out yet. We have Death's Whisper retaliating.
You can't keep a big mech down. Once again, this is what makes these 2-on-1 contests so exciting.
That tiny spider is going to face the wrath of a clothesline as I charge towards the other one. Whatever it is. I don't care. I will kill it. It will be fun. But, yeah.
One application punch.
Oh, and a massive clothesline from Hades from the big bot. Nearly takes his head off on that one. Coming up next, it looks like Judas Paradigm is getting into the action.
Let's see how you handle the run and drop kick. Here I come.
Well, Judas charging in as well.
And a solid hit from Judas as well.
Oh, that hurt a little. I am too old to be taking those kind of bumps.
Oh, Judas really got up there on that one.
And somehow all of these pilots are still conscious in their mechs.
It
is unbelievable the abuse that they can take.
Incredible the physicality that these pilots engage in each and every match here in the BFF.
I don't think Death's Whisper can take much more of a beating like that hit from Oso Grande.
I tell you what, I've been surprised by Death Whisper's resilience before, but this is truly incredible. Standing their own against these opponents. Whew.
If you got this, I'm gonna get ready to charge her like a bull.
Oh,
I'm gonna back up and get as much speed as I can. And charge directly into her again.
Oso Grande continuing his aggressive streak and tactics.
Whew.
Oh, and a big splash from the little mech definitely has Death's Whisperers on the ropes. Well, not literally, of course, but against the backdrop.
I will take your abuse. I can take all kinds of abuse. I will jump behind you, Oso Grande, and I will punch a hole through your heart.
Oh! And the big bot takes flight.
And it is a swing and a miss!
Always the trade-off with those big mechs. Just don't have the agility and athleticism of some of the lighter mechs, like Oso Grande.
I'm not sure Death's Whisper can take much more of a beating like this. I'm amazed she's still conscious.
Once again, incredible resiliency shown by the monster.
All right, I think I got a plan. You ready for this, Oso?
Oh yeah!
All right, here we go, buddy. I'm gonna hop up on that plateau and drop kick him off the top of it.
Oh! Judas!
Let's see if the Whisper can scream.
And a solid blow landed with that drop kick. And Death's Whisper is knocked to the ground.
Oh, the brutality! Judas showing there's still gas in the tanks, trying to make another run to the top.
But she is quick to react and back on her feet right away.
Once again, you can't keep this monster down for long.
Wow, what impressive agility.
Death always wins. I will back up 5 places. I will charge 5 places. And you will have no faces.
Oh!
And the left arm is ripped clean off on Oso Grande.
Once again, you cannot discount the resiliency of Death Whisper. Just incredible, incredible carnage we're seeing here. All of a sudden, the tables have turned completely in this 2-on-1 fight.
You all right, buddy?
You know what? You don't need an arm if you're gonna kick her in the head. What you did was pretty good. I think I'm also gonna jump off that plateau for a kick to the face.
And it's just not good enough, and we are falling short on that kick. Oso Grande hitting the ground with impact.
Clearly rattled by the loss of his arm. That's the sort of thing that will affect you in combat.
I need a counterweight.
Uh-oh. I don't like that twitching that Judas is displaying in his mech now. We've seen it before. Nothing good ever follows this.
It doesn't look like there's much armor left on that mech of Death's Whisper.
She's taken a lot of damage. It's truly remarkable.
I'm gonna back up as far as I can, activate my mask, and charge.
Oh!
And a solid impact on the charge, knocking Death's Whisper to the ground yet again. It looks like she might be unconscious.
Once again, the big mech is floored.
This guy's pretty, ain't it? Keep looking at it.
Standard. And fourth.
Rear or
Front.
Once again, we've seen Death's Whisper defy the odds before, but they are definitely stacked against them now.
She doesn't seem to be waking up. Oso Grande has a chance to end it here.
Oso Grande, trying to recover.
Plateau, Oso!
You know what? That's gonna happen. I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna jump onto that platform, and I'm gonna deliver an elbow drop directly to her.
Short in arm, Oso doesn't make the climb and falls before he can.
Oh! Once again, that lack of counterweight has proved to be his downfall.
I know what I gotta do next time then.
And still, Death's Whisper is not conscious.
Leaving an opportunity, once again, for Judas Paradigm to show what he does best.
You ready? Here it comes. Reach down, grab her by the arms, pick her up, knee to the face. Paradigm shift.
Oh, and his finisher. That
And
looks like it's it for Death's Whisper.
Oh, the paradigm shift connects yet again. We see Judas, hands raised in triumph.
You're welcome.
And this fight is over.
All credit to all three competitors. That was an incredible match.
Not bad, kid. Good fight.
Thanks, Judas. Next time.
Let's check in with our winners in the cockpit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, hello.
Hey, Judas, just tell us about your strategy going into that fight.
Well, Bill, my main aim was to knock the head off of the mech. How'd I do?
Well, in that you fell slightly short, despite your impressive victory.
Better luck next time.
Remember, Judas. It's just victory. These aren't death matches, unless specifically sanctioned, of course.
Accidents happen all the time, Victor.
They do seem to happen with frequency when you're involved, Judas. Yes.
Oh, back in 42, I remember that match.
Oh, that was a grim one.
I would remember that match if it weren't for the multiple head injuries since then.
Dad barely lived through that one.
So who do we fight next?
Well, Victor, you in the driver's seat on that one.
Let's take a listen from Oso Grande and see what he has to say about this match.
Oso, tough break with the arm, but wonderful showing today.
You know, I did learn a lot from Judas, watching the moves he exhibited on Death's Whisper. I think next time I'll be able to get a swing of it, as long as I have my arm.
Yes, that did seem to be a troubling loss for you.
That loss of the arm was pretty significant, I gotta say. And what about that fall there, that misadventure trying to climb up to the top there? What was going on there? What happened?
You know, if you don't fall every once in a while, you're not trying to jump hard enough. So, this time it just didn't work. I don't know if it was my jump jets or the lack of arm really does hurt with climbing up. I didn't even think about that. I just tried to jump on her, but next time I'll just not climb and do it from where I'm sitting.
If you don't ever fall, you haven't jumped from high enough. Wise words from the young man. Looking forward to seeing what's coming next from Oso Grande.
It looks like our technicians have brought Death's Whisper back to consciousness. Let's see what she has to say about this.
Oh,
office.
they've tracked down the monster.
So, the nap was nice. I haven't slept. Death does not sleep.
Dead got knocked the fuck out.
I was sleeping. It was fine.
Yes, you sound refreshed.
Next time. Next time.
Strong words from a recently revived Death's Whisper. Death, do you have any specific ideas of what went wrong for you in there?
There were birds.
And we're back to the birds.
Those must have been some very solid hits, Victor.
Might want to get in some
Absolutely.
of those concussion protocols, boys.
Yes, our concussion protocols brought to you by Solid Steel.
Solid Steel, finest in the industry.
Thank you once again for a wonderful match, Death.
That was impressively fast, guys. You want to come join us at the table
Yeah,
here? We'll
man.
talk about it for a minute.
Absolutely. That was less than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, match start to finish.
Wow.
Goodness.
So
that's what you guys have to look forward to.
and that's what
for
we're
speed.
shooting for time-wise, you know?
In addition, when we start to do these on the regular, I will be ahead of time and post releasing the mech sheets so you have access to them at home if maybe you want to do your own Saturday Night Robot fights or you want to keep track of the actions that's going on. And as I can display to the folks back here, there was a lot of damage done pretty rapidly. Very little was actually done to Judas, but there was a tremendous amount done here. And here Oso Grande was almost eliminated from the fight from torso hits alone before losing the arm.
I was planning
And-
on jumping on someone.
Had this been a standard BattleTech a fight using weapons and the like, the armor still remained on Death's Whisper's
Oh yeah,
Cyclops.
she had plenty of armor left.
She did take a tremendous amount of hit. The majority of that was from that initial impact.
That first
That
charge
first
attack
charge
was
inflicted
nasty.
a massive amount of damage, including
Now,
a head
that's,
hit.
That's the smallest mech that we've got, that spider, right?
Yes, and generally we're going to be fighting mediums and heavies.
Right. So that being the smallest one we got, on that charge attack, it ran how many hexes?
I covered 15 for purposes of charge.
Which means it did how much damage?
45 damage.
45 damage spread
Spread
over
out
everything
9 hit locations.
from like a 30-ton mech.
Yes.
So that's awesome damage. Charges are very, very powerful.
Yeah, the jumping attacks can do a lot of damage. When a mech is down, you can do a lot of damage to them. And the finishers are how we're going to quickly end a lot of these fights.
Yeah.
And there was just, for Sarah, there was some real bad luck on the consciousness rolls going back on in here. I had 3 rolls of 4 in a row for her, which was just, it was just shy by 1.
Yeah. We have a question from chat. What happens episode to episode if from the mech who gets damaged? Do they get repaired or will there be repercussions?
A little of both.
Yeah. It'll mostly be they get repaired. Injuries will happen for story reasons all the time.
Yep, pilots can be injured.
Pilots can be injured and they
Can be
killed.
There are a lot of safety measures put in by BFF to keep their pilots alive because they are an investment.
Absolutely.
But as Judas pointed out, accidents do happen. It is possible that a pilot can be killed.
And I would suggest it's not inconceivable that there's mech damage that rolls into the next week.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Again, for storyline purposes.
Yeah, playing up injuries is a big part of the whole business, really. You know?
Yep, and this was kind of a test run to show you how combat would work and how each of our different matches are going to go. And as you saw, it went really, really fast.
Really quick. Yeah, can we do a one-on-one?
No, I think we could be able to pull it off. Give me a minute to fix these sheets, and we might be able to do something here.
I'd love to do another match before we go today. I mean,
I think so. Maybe the two of you would like to have a practice run with each other there.
Ooh.
Oso
Assuming
and
the
Judas.
two light,
What do you say?
because if I just fought you like with that, I would kill you.
You would kill us
It
pretty
would
much
be
outright.
Dead.
Yeah, I did put her in the only assault mech on the board there.
Yeah. It would have been awesome if I could have jumped on something.
Yeah, that would be a significantly damaging.
My plan was, while it also was on the ground, to jump on him.
That
No.
would have been horribly damaging.
He's Bill. That's canon.
And then I never woke up.
Yeah, Bill Genetti.
Yeah.
Yeah, BSR Bill Genetti. That is a fact. Yeah, but we could totally pit the two of you against each other if we want to refresh a little bit of the battle here.
And yeah, it was a little bumpy while the commentators had to calculate the damage, but I think we found a couple of ways that we're working around that right now. Showing the announcers a little bit less is one thing we tried during just that fight, and it changed the flow of the way things looked really quickly. So.
Yeah. Again, these are rehearsals.
Clearly.
Which, and it puts a lot of burden down here. Will there be weapons fighting?
Not at first.
Not in this season. You're not going to be seeing much along the lines of weapons fire happening. What you're going to see a lot of is mechs hitting each other, mechs charging each other, mechs kicking each other, and the like.
And mechs hitting each other with other mechs.
And
That was going to be my
foreign
next plan.
objects?
I
Foreign
was going to
objects
jump
are a
on him
thing.
and then pick him up and hurl him at you.
Yeah,
was
with
my
that
plan.
90-10 assault mech, you could quite easily pick up either of those mechs.
That was my plan.
And hitting a mech with another mech is a completely viable combat option. The pre-show, it can very much. I mean, there's going to be a lot of rivalries that happen. And as we open up the store to you, it's going to change a lot of things available to you. As you saw, we had something our finishers today. Our in-game rules for finishers are as follows. You can only use one of your finishers if your opponent happens to be unconscious at the time. That is how they were able to pull off the win on Death's Whisper is 3 consecutive failed consciousness rolls. Just wasn't able to get up in time. Which is something else I've added in, while it does make it more burdensome on me, the pilots who are knocked out have an almost continuous chance from turn to turn of waking back up, to eliminate the ability of someone just to be knocked out, teamed up upon, and then immediately eliminated. We don't want that to happen. In addition, to change things up, while at the beginning, the roles tended to keep them going in the same order, initiative has changed from round to round, so you never know who's actually going to be leading. We're not using the harebrained schemes phased initiative. We're not using a traditional initiative where they stick with the same one for the entire combat. Every single round, you will end up with different people in different positions, depending upon how the
Sometimes a
dice
person will
mechanic
go
rolls.
last and then first.
Yes,
So they
I
can
mean,
get 2 in a row, which is
It could be really, really beneficial to go last in some circumstances if you happen to follow it up by going first.
But we won't know that until it.
You don't know until we're calling you into the seat, so it puts a lot of burden on our players and the pilots as well. But what do you say we pit Judas and Oso against each other?
Oh,
Are
let's
you
Do
ready?
you want
I'm
me
in.
to comment?
I think you should
Oso ready.
commentate so that I can
You
focus
can
on
just
this.
do that.
Yeah, I can just use these, and as long as I have access to that there to use as well.
I can be someplace else.
In
No,
fact,
we're
Where do
going.
you want me to be?
I can slide over to his other side so
All right.
you can be in the
All right.
commentator's position,
No,
and I
I'll
will
take
need to
it.
use these 2 sheets.
Do we want to start that far apart from each other so we can just open up with a charge every time?
I think let's start you guys face to face for this one to make it a little more interesting, shall we?
And basically, whoever gets the first charge off wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, with these 2 guys, if we get them a charge right off the bat, it's going to be
It's going to be a one-shot fight if you do that.
Yep.
Oh, wow, I rolled equal initiative for both of you for the starting one. Second time around, Judas is going to go first.
All right, kiddo. Let's see how you handle a little old school. I'm initiating a grapple.
Old school indeed.
More than good enough. He is now grappled.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, and Judas locks up the young lad.
Going for the old hip toss. Throw him back down on the ground.
Does his old school hip.
Not good enough to get him off the ground.
Oh, unfortunately, that old hip not what it used to be.
Crippled by arthritis, soon
And we
to die.
swap
for
over
sure.
as Oso takes the hot seat. Currently grappled.
So you were trying to hip toss me like this?
And Oso is not able to reverse the grapple and is still held by Judas Paradigm.
Also goes for a reversal, but once again, Judas is quite the wily veteran, able to counter the young man.
Perhaps
Move that into a headlock. Punch him in the head.
perhaps the bear just needed a hug.
Give me a punch, please. That is a successful hit.
How many?
Just 1 punch location.
Oh, and Judas counters into a headlock, striking him. severely and swiftly.
Yeah, right on.
This looks like mental.
punch you in the arm. I'm gonna tear her right off.
You know what
pushing
happened to that arm? Why would you hit a weak spot?
Now, to the layperson, that may seem a weird strategy, but that is likely due to Oso's attempts to dodge from the headlock.
Still grappled.
Head full of stuffing, easy to hit.
I'm gonna reverse this grapple
In fact, he does.
and try to trip him.
Teddy bears tripping their owners.
I got 4 legs.
There's a giant pencil.
Oh, and in an incredible show of athleticism, Oso has broken out of the headlock and tripped Judas to the mat.
What does the sky look like, old man?
Let me show you. I'm gonna kip up from my position using my jump jets and coming in with a full-on death from above from a lying position.
That's gonna hit. I need
Oh, no way.
use the punch table. Yep.
Yeah.
And I need 3 locations.
Death's Whisper approves of death from above.
Ooh.
Oh!
And he's unconscious.
Oh, and we haven't seen a move like that from Judas since 42. What an incredible show. Bringing it back to the old days. Judas, never count him out.
Until he dies.
That's true, death does come for us all. Rather macabre, but apt.
And Judas follows it up.
Uh-oh. Here it comes, son. Boom! Paradigm shift.
And that's as quick as that fight was, too.
Oh, once again, Judas with alacrity and conviction. Oso is down.
I think we've set a new record in this format of having 2 completed fights in the span of 30 minutes or less.
Sorry, kiddo. Next time, you will also lose.
Rapidly working his way up the BFF rankings, trying to get that solid steel belt.
Really, again, just more poor luck with bad results on there. With the 5 for him to wake up, there wasn't a lot of chance. One of the big disadvantages to this is if there's only 2 people going, there's only 2 chances to wake up before you get knocked out. So bigger fights give you a lot more of a chance to wake up from these, meaning the finishers won't be as frequent. But in one-on-one competitions like this, the whole fight can end in a matter of 1 or 2 rounds, just really, really quickly. I mean, that was pretty impressive at how fast and how little damage was done to both overall mechs. I mean, Oso did take a bit of a beating from that death from above.
As is the name.
From the kip up death from above. Yes, you gotta love
That
that.
was a sweet move.
Yeah.
Come on.
And then there was some like ridiculously lucky rolls on the end of Judas Paradigm there with a couple of 11s coming in very handy to help him out. I know it was quite the match there, guys. I'm impressed at the speed we're able to handle this. I have some concerns about the speed to be able to document this damage as it is happening.
Is it going too fast for you? Because we got plenty of time for RP in between. We got plenty of time for
It is a little quick
dropping
on that.
advertising spots.
It is a little quick on that. We're going to want to
So,
put a little effort
Like, how
in
would
there.
they do the RP if people are in, like,
It'll generally be happening between the fighters, I would guess.
but how do you shit talk when when one person's in the mech seat and the other person's out here? Just
You can still hear them.
Yeah, I
Okay.
would suggest that your comms are all linked together.
Okay.
The
Like
comms
you
are
can't
open.
hear us, but you can all hear each other.
And broadcast live to our audiences,
Of
those
course.
both in the arena and watching at home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and do not worry, there will absolutely be lots more advertisements.
Yeah, lots of advertisements. The primary focus of today's rehearsal was fighting,
Just figuring out how we're
How
going
to
to
do
do it and switch from.
switching a hot seat, and how fast it was going to be. This actually turned out to go even faster than I predicted it was going to
stop
go.
attacking the television.
Learning the tablets, all that technical
This was
nonsense.
insanely fast comparatively to traditional games of BattleTech. We had 2 matches over in 30 minutes. I think that's an all-time record for this studio as far as BattleTech combat goes.
We'll be able to get through entire match cards in one episode, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Very much so. I mean, it might take some planning to make them last long enough.
Reinforcements.
Oh, we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
More mechs.
Plus, we're going to be adding the store mechanics in, which are going to be really great. I mean, some,
The wheel.
Think we should spoil them about some of the store mechanics. Let them know what we're going to have in the store. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the store.
So we're going to have some fun things added into the store. Something's going to. One of the lovely things we're going to have in the store is something called momentum. Rather than just having this tremendous initiative changing from round to round, if you have a contender in the match that you really want to be able to go first, you can buy a momentum. And if they have momentum, they'll be able to go when they choose to go. They can just use that momentum you have purchased from them to maybe go
so much less
immediately
hair.
after they went, or
all
to make
fear
sure that they don't get completely obliterated in a match right away.
Give them time to make that extra consciousness roll.
Exactly, give them that extra conscious, which, we've included a mechanic of that, the surprising recovery or the sudden recovery. We haven't settled on naming mechanics yet. You can again buy that for the fighter of your choice, and instead of automatically being eliminated by the finishing move, a sudden recovery will cancel that out. They just simply don't go out from that finishing move. That finishing move is used, the damage is done, but the pilot is still in the fight. So if you really got somebody who's in that fight that you want to keep going, that's something you want to get for them so that they just don't go down.
It would have been handy.
It would have been handy.
Like scary red
And then, of
lights.
course, we're going to have our friend, the Wheel of Calamity, sitting at home in my living room.
Are we going to use it next week? I want some Calamity.
We might get there. We'll see.
Okay. Calamity's fun.
Calamity is great. And Calamity will extend match time a little bit as different horrible things befall the fighters. And the Wheel of Calamity will... you'll have two options when it comes to our Wheel of Calamity. You can simply buy a spin, and we will spin that wheel. You'll even get to watch it. Like I said, I have the wheel
Can I
at home.
spin it?
Oh, does it click?
Yes, it does.
Good. The click.
And
is,
where it lands is...
That's how you know it's legit.
yeah.
Exactly.
If it didn't click,
Where it lands is what's going to
Not
affect someone. And that could be randomized. It could affect everyone who's fighting at once. It's all going to depend upon that heading.
Are we going to
Now-
use the funny dinosaurs?
Those might be included. You never know. The Wheel of Calamity is absolutely alterable from week to week and even match to match.
Are we going to do more than one match an episode?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna do a full
Ideally,
match.
we should have a full fight card.
So it's like,
We should have about 3 matches per episode in general.
so it's like Glow in that like these two people fight and then these other people come in and fight and then the big guys come in and fight.
Yes.
Yes, and people might interrupt matches in progress, Yeah, if Death's Whisper decides that she really has a problem with Judas' paradigm, she doesn't care if Judas is in a one-on-one match. She's going to
going
come in there and kick him in the head.
All right.
Gotta have run-ins. What's wrestling without run-ins?
I mean, yes, does that mean that the match is a disqualification and neither of the contenders win? Yes, but Death's Whisper
cares?
doesn't care about that.
She doesn't care about.
She's there to kick Judas' paradigm in the head.
Yeah. It's fair.
he deserves it.
Now, in the Wheel of Calamity, if there's something that you really, really want that's on that wheel for that episode that day, and you just can't risk it spinning, you'll be able to upgrade your purchase and just pick an item off the Wheel of Calamity. And on top of that, if you pick the item, if you decide to go that big, if you really want to be that power player, not only do you pick the item, you pick who is affected
Ooh.
by the item.
So it could be
It's the
you could pick
ultimate momentum
everybody.
shift.
Absolutely.
You could pick everybody or just
Just a person. Everybody gets this. That person gets this. So, and someone had asked before, are the fights fixed? No, we aren't going to fix the fights. You are.
Right.
You will have the sole power to fix the outcome of these fights through purchases in the store. If you really want a contender to win, there's going to be very little that the dice or apps can do to stop that.
It's true. They're predetermined in that you can exactly determine how they go with the right kinds of spending in the right area.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can make it so an opponent just can't be
You
finished.
can absolutely game the system.
I mean, we really want to continue our theme here of putting the control in the fans' hands. I mean, it's up
That's
to
where
you
we
guys.
started, so let's
It's all about you guys. We're here to entertain you. And have robots that punch each other in the head.
which is
Yeah, no,
entertaining
that's
for
that's why
everybody.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I want to punch other robots in the head.
Saturday Night Robot Fights is absolutely great.
I'm here because if I stay long enough, you'll give me a big gun.
This is true. Guns will eventually be included in various fashions. You might even actually see them on the Wheel of Calamity in the first
no.
season.
Oh no.
There's been rumor that, they dropped in Irby shooting at people might end up being as a.
Does it have an ace of 20 or is it just a sad derby?
It's just a sad derby, but they will drop in and shoot at people, which could be entertaining.
That's true.
And then there's some other little fun stuff that we'll be including here. Some of your heals might not necessarily have mechs without weapons. Oh my, yeah, that could totally happen. I know nothing about Big Larry. I'm not talking about Big Larry.
What Big Larry? There's a
Who's Big Larry?
What's a Big Larry?
What's a big? Yeah, I don't know. Why is it
I
Big
don't know
Larry?
what Big Larry is.
Oh, Big
seriously.
Larry's
I honestly don't.
He's an
Yeah.
atlas with an axe.
Oh, okay.
It's a big ass mech with an axe.
Axeless?
The Axeless, yeah.
Yeah. All right, all right.
Mechs that shoot glitter. Yeah, that's totally a thing.
Just blinds people. Like, ugh!
That's not what a glitter boy is.
Oh,
It's the poison mist of
Yeah, absolutely.
of mech wrestling. I infect you with raver scabies.
And while we only included the finishing moves this fight rehearsal today, we're also going to have signature moves that get added. You know, there's some interesting ones that will be done that have different game impacts based upon the contenders in them.
Some of them will put you a step closer to unconsciousness. Some of them will, target specific body parts.
Yeah, there's some
Just
fun
fun
ones.
stuff like that.
I'm assuming Death's Whisper would make somebody a little more unconscious. Because
Yeah.
death.
Yeah. Plus, your
It's like
finishing
the
move
ultimate.
is technically a submission.
Yeah. the kiss of death is
Yeah.
technically a submission.
Oh, Kiss of Death is cool, guys. Would have been cool to see.
Yeah.
Kiss of
Yeah. I
Death
was
would
kind
have
of
been
looking
great
forward
to
to
see.
taking that one.
Would have been cool.
We've got some great ones. They do great, wonderful things. We've got a certain heel who has a trick that he can just make you eject from the cockpit. That's his finishing move. He just
is
makes
that?
you eject. He's a certain very
Very likable.
smarmy heel.
That guy
Oh, that guy. All right.
just throws money at a thing and makes it happen.
Yeah.
Let's one more match.
Let's
Sarah
see.
do
Let's
their-
Sarah do the kiss of death.
Yeah, similar. It's taken from the idea of punch them all or in the chest. That's kind of where it comes from.
I'll be able to do it eventually.
But all mechs have different electronics, and this particular heel has studied them so that he can make pilots eject even when they don't want to. That'll be his finisher.
At least
Well-
the finisher doesn't kill you.
No, he doesn't want to beat you. He just wants to win.
Yeah.
So funny.
It's the equivalent of the low blow in wrestling.
Ah.
If you ever watched
Yeah,
it.
basically it's just like a move where he grabs your heat coil and just puts a flamethrower on it and it just heats up your cockpit so much you auto eject.
Those safety features that are built to keep you alive.
It's
he
like a mandible
exploits them.
claw essentially.
The veteran move.
Yeah.
A heel exploiting something?
I know.
No!
There's no current plans to include quads, but don't count them out.
Never count them out. They're great. They're great gimmick mechs, and wrestling's all about gimmicks. So
Yeah,
Well, we
we're
have
gonna have a
some
lot
painted.
of gimmicks, and we're also gonna have a lot of gimmick matches. The majority of matches aren't gonna be like you saw today, where it's just 3 contenders fighting or 2 contenders fighting.
plus, if we have one of those, the first time you lose your feet, you're on the ground. They have matches where that could be the thing. First person, last person standing basically wins. And it would be just like a sneaky heel to bring in a quad in that particular case.
We would like to average 3 matches per episode, sometimes more depending upon the original card idea, and sometimes less. I mean, the Robo Rumble will be 1 match for the entire episode, but it's 1 big match.
How many mechs are we all gonna?
And the Robo Rumble, as many people as I can get in here will be
Hilarious.
in the Robo Rumble. Contenders will join. An additional one every turn will be added
Nice.
to the combat.
And then we're all just
And then you're all just there.
free for all, right?
Yep.
Well, the idea in the Royal Rumble is to force your opponent out of the ring, in this case, a plateau,
So
Yeah.
pushing.
So basically, just pushing people off the hill.
or throwing them off the hill.
I love
If you are out of the
You're gonna
ring
do
in the
very
Robo
well in
Rumble,
that match with your assault mech.
Yeah.
if you're out of the ring in the Robo Rumble, you're out of the match.
Yep.
Unless you're a heel and you decide you could come back.
Well, if you're on the edge of that ring and you decide to reach in and grab somebody by the legs and pull them off, that can happen.
Yeah, and if if you get out yourself, you're not out of the match. You have to be thrown out.
Must be
Ah.
thrown.
So the heel can
okay.
absolutely just slide off that hill anytime they want and hide out until they think it's a good time to come in and beat somebody up.
I have a storyline idea for that, but I'll hold that.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yep, there's going to be quite a few of them. We're going to have the equivalent of tables and chairs style matches. The junkyard match is one I'm really excited about. You get to see a junkyard match.
The chain match where you have two mechs chained together so they can't get any more than 3 or 4 hexes apart from each other. There's some we're all about gimmicks. Maybe the medium laser on a pole match.
Now, gimmick matches will be a very, very big thing in this. There are going to be very few simple. These two mechs are going to fight it out. That is just not what the Battle Mech Fighting Federation does. It's
Not
just
what the
not as
people want.
exciting enough.
People
They want exciting, over the top, crazy action.
They want Judy Bagwell on a pole.
Yes, they do.
See?
Vicky Guerrero in a shark cage.
Shark cage. Oh, the shark cage matches.
Yeah, if we're not upstaging what's actually happening in professional wrestling today, we aren't doing our jobs right.
Now, sometimes the prize might not be like a belt or a
Many,
championship.
many
Maybe they'll put like a
times.
mech on the line, and that particular pilot will get that mech if they win the match. There are like real stakes at the.
Absolutely,
That
there
the
are
players
real
get to
stakes
play
for a
for.
lot of our contenders
Ooh.
besides just getting that championship belt.
Okay.
Maximum people get married in the ring in WWE all the time. It's just always a work.
And it's always awful.
What's
It's-
a,
yeah, it's
what's a
terrible.
work?
It's
What is
always
the word?
bad.
Oh,
Fake. It's
yeah.
always fake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's always something planned. People are supposed to run in and ruin the wedding. It's just how that goes.
Yeah.
Triple H and Stephanie
How do you
So
ruin something that's already
characters-
terrible?
Characters are getting married.
by doing it in a wrestling ring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, characters get married and then other characters wreck it.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like real people decided to get married in the ring and then the wrestlers wreck it.
No, that
That'd
doesn't
be
happen.
horrible.
Okay.
See, I was just thinking that
So
would be
rude.
awesome.
Oh, I would be so upset. Like, all right, this is our special moment. Why Triple H? Why?
You asshole!
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. But then again, I think weddings are stupid. So
Wah, wah.
Because it does sound quite like DFA. Yeah, we probably won't get to the. I don't think mechs are allowed to get married in 3060 to each other.
I think it depends on where you're at.
Some places are very progressive about that kind of thing, but I think Victor Monahan's from the old school.
He is a little bit old school. That's true.
Death from some love.
Entirely
That's
possible.
awesome.
Just the title syphilis, death from some love.
Well, it would be a solid steel chair that he comes with because all of our
Yes.
equipment is made by
Well,
the Solid Steel
You know,
Corporation.
they're our biggest sponsor.
Yeah, one of the big sponsors there. You'll get to see a lot of crazy stuff from some of the technical readouts used. The performers here are great guinea pigs for a lot of the corporations in the BattleTech universe to try out new equipment that might not be so safe for the front line just yet. But Mr. Monahan is totally okay with it being tested out on his pilots.
Look, we're always cutting edge here in BFF.
You mean cutting corners?
Cutting costs. All of that. Yeah.
Just cutting.
Just cutting.
Backstage RP, so you're going to get 2 versions of Backstage RP. You'll get to see these people as they are as people, and then see them as performers as well.
Kind of see us showing up at the arena at the beginning of the day and saying hi to each other.
Duffel bags.
Right. And duffel bags, hanging out in the locker room, talking about what we're going to do during the match, stuff like that. And then going into character when the quote-unquote cameras show up and seeing what the card's going to be for that day and complaining about our place on it. Like, I really think I should be main eventing this week. My match is much more interesting than this other one.
Absolutely.
Made
It's going to be a
eventing.
little bit cutthroat in that
Main
we
eventing.
are...
Main eventing, not made eventing.
Right.
Oh, can we
Or
have a maid
headline.
of it?
Nobody's made eventing.
I was like, what's venting?
Yeah, you'll get to see a lot of that. Particularly, you might see 2 characters who off screen are really good friends but are currently in the middle of a fierce rivalry as their on-screen performers.
Happens.
And
Yeah,
then
we're
you might
definitely-
see the ones who are on-screen performers, a tag team or great friends, and off-screen hate each other's guts.
Yeah, and don't forget there's also the performers that really stick to the old school kayfabe and just never break character for any reason whatsoever.
Yeah, we've got some of those. We have some characters who just don't break character.
That's not me.
That is definitely not you. No, if Death's Whisper was like that all the time, we wouldn't be able to.
No.
They probably
Too
not.
intense.
Like keep your mech, go fight in a war or something. You freaking nailed it.
Wonderful that you asked that question, Cryomancer Maurice. His name is Kyrus the Mod, a.k.a. the Modern Era, a.k.a. the MOD.
Mm-hmm.
Master of
Played by
Destruction.
Sean Franklin.
Yep, played by Sean Franklin. He's
He's
our
the current Brock.
yep, the reigning champion. He's Mr. Monahan's golden boy. Big money maker.
Big moneymaker. Also a huge jerk.
Yeah, total jerk.
Super
I
jerk.
don't like him. Or my character doesn't like him.
Very much
At
so.
all.
That's going to be a heavily centered plot line here in this first season.
Cool.
Anything else we want to add in, guys?
No, man. I think we got 14 minutes left of this stream.
Yeah.
I mean, I really want to see the kiss of death.
Okay, well, somebody go be unconscious.
Why don't you go knock somebody unconscious?
All
we
right.
got time for 2 matches with the
No
way we've been
problem.
burning them off today.
No problem. My mech will kick any of your asses any day.
All right, yeah, I think chat agrees with me on this. That it's time to see more robot fighting.
Robots.
That's
All
what
right,
we
I
came
think
here
we
to do
got
today.
time for one more robot fight.
Who wants to be destroyed?
Robot fighting.
Who we looking at?
I've got more experience at this, so why don't we
Okay,
do it?
that sounds like a plan.
Wait, he has got plenty of experience being destroyed.
Oh!
Well, he's about to
Strong
get
words
into-
right out the gates. I
Let's see how
love
this
these guys.
goes. Whisper.
It might go quick because it looks like Death's Whisper is going to go first in this one.
Would you like to use my slightly larger mech?
Yes.
Yes.
I can put you in the slightly larger mech.
Yay.
It's only 10 tons, but
You know, it's
Yep.
better than.
You are only outweighed by 50 tons now
Well, cool.
instead
Cool.
of 60.
instead of 60.
Slightly larger.
I'm oh so screwed.
But, you know, with it starting with Death's Whisper going first, this might be a very,
Very-
short match.
Yeah.
Very short. All right, are we ready?
I think we can.
Oh, do I get to be on commentary this time?
Yes, you get to be on some commentary.
That's exciting.
Ding, ding.
Oh God, right next to each other.
Whoever thought Death's Whisper should go against one puny, tiny, insignificant mech really underestimates the power. I will rear back 5 and charge forward 5, staring their death in my face.
Well, that's going to move you right back in there. And that is going to be an impact hit. We're going to be doing 9 locations. This might be quick.
Love it.
Bring it, Whisper!
It's been brought,
Yep.
so you be
9
dead
locations.
soon.
Mark those down here. This could be over.
Death's
right
Whisper, of course, coming out very strong, nearly as strong as she smells.
Oh,
With as
goodness.
frigid as that woman and as hot as the cockpit is, it's got to be about room temperature by now.
Strong words once again from Judas. Seeing these two actually face to face, one has to question the sanity and planning from Oso Grande to accept this man.
Well, Oso has never been the smartest boy in the world. It's not his fault. I hit him in the head an awful lot during training.
Very athletic, though. Can't speak enough about his natural raw athleticism.
Mr. Monahan, you are always speaking about his natural athleticism.
You know, he reminds me in some ways of a young you.
Oso, is
Yes?
death calling you?
Hell of an impact, but not enough to knock him down or out. But you can't withstand another one of those.
Well then,
Run and hide, Oso.
Get her, kiddo. Kick her in the nuts.
kick her. All right, I'll do that. Let me kick her. I'm gonna do that. Take this to the knee.
A hit and a knockdown from the kick.
Oh!
What was that, Death? I couldn't hear you from down
Not
there.
unconscious, just down.
Quite the veteran move from the young lad.
Sweep the leg, Grande.
Only luck will see you victorious momentarily.
And
I will jump
Get up,
behind-
Death's Whisper. Use your attributes.
I will jump behind you, Oso, and reach out the stuffing in your osito de peluche.
Wow, I did not know that she knew German. She never fails to surprise me.
German.
You know I don't understand that, Whisper. Why do you gotta be like that?
Osito de peluche is a teddy bear. Oso, use your intelligence. Oh, wait.
incredible agility shown by Death's Whisper there.
Yeah.
You just don't expect to see that from a mech that size.
How's the big bear gonna get out of this? That's my question.
Well,
Oh,
one good turn deserves another. So I'm gonna use my jump jets and give her a death from above. A spinning backflip!
Ooh!
Oh!
And a complete miss.
No! Grande went for the oh so pretty just a little bit early this time,
Can I
and he
get a rear
seems to have
standard?
paid for it with his balance.
One day.
Went for it all, unfortunately, too soon.
He practices that move night and day.
And nearly lost the right leg for it.
No!
Oh yeah, he seems to have a bad knee actuator there. He
Seems
probably
to be
shouldn't
You're
try
just
that
too big
particular
to get
move
over.
again.
And
I will reach down,
still conscious.
grab you by the arm, twirl you around in a circle, and
And
then
just giving a
smash
grapple and a
you on the
throw.
ground.
One of the biggest and baddest grapplers in the business, ladies and gentlemen. Death's Whisper is not to be underestimated.
One of those. Yep, just like that. Any standard.
What she lacks in
Yep.
experience, she more than makes up for in pure fury
2 occasions.
and anger that cannot be contained.
Oh! Driving him powerfully to the ground.
I feel the
first.
case is on
Head
its
first
way, head
into the
first.
ground.
That's gonna rattle the cockpit a little.
And he is unconscious.
Oh, I can feel it coming now.
And back conscious again.
Ah, the moment has passed.
That was a taste of death.
Monahan always said I got raw athleticism. That's what keeps me up.
See, I've always found his athleticism to be quite cooked.
Once again, the vitality of youth coming through for Oso Grande today.
Yes, well,
Well, Master taught me how to kip up and kick someone. So I'm gonna give that a shot. My actuator's a little shot, but you know what? I think I can do this.
I think you can't.
Nobody cares what you think.
I don't care that nobody cares. Death will take them all.
A solid kick, but not enough to knock down Death's Whisper.
Death's Whisper staying true to character with her whole death thing.
It's all I can do against a big Mech.
Once again, the Big Mech proves to be too much and remains standing tall.
At this point, I'm just waiting for that giant Cyclops to put its hand actuators on the head of the other mech and just hold him there.
You will.
You remember
now-
when I did that to Cross a couple years ago?
Oh, good times, good times.
Wasn't that one of Steele's first matches?
I believe it was,
Oh,
yes.
that guy.
I believe actually Steele's
worker.
first appearance.
He's a good hand.
Yes, very solid hand.
I see weakness, Oso.
Are you looking in a mirror?
I see
No, I think she's looking at
weakness
your knee.
at your leg.
Ooh.
I will rip off your leg.
He's a little quick for that. That's not going to work.
I'll kick him in the leg. Something in the leg. I would
She
like
goes
to
for
do.
it. It's
Death
a
in the
swing
leg.
It's a
and
swing and a
a miss.
miss.
The faster mech, of course, using its speed to its advantage.
You know what they say, speed kills. Let's see if Oso can follow up
And the
take
big bear is
advantage.
on deck to take another swing. Let's see what he does.
You better do something soon or he's going to go down.
I'm gonna activate my mask system. Back up as much as I can. In charge.
We'll see if that mask system can take the heat.
You can take the heat, and it is a solid impact.
I am
Front to front,
charged!
standard
Oso
table.
Grande!
Refuses to give up. You've just got to respect the
5
gumption.
locations.
Gumption is pretty much what that kid's made of, and I just love him to death, man. You know, you don't see kids with that kind of, what's the word, chutzpah anymore, you know?
Absolutely.
Came off the line like he's been fighting in battles his whole life, and he flies, man. He's like a bird.
Well, and Judas, you have to wonder, at showing this much skill at this young of an age, what is the rest of his career going to look like for this promising young talent?
He keeps taking hits like that. It's not going to be a very long career, Victor.
Very good point.
He's nickel and diamond, that Cyclops.
That
That's not enough.
That reckless behavior, that putting his own mech on the line every time he takes one of those huge aerial shots. That's why I try and keep them few and far between. You know, I mean, my career could have lasted another 10, 20 years easy if I would have just stayed a little bit safer at the beginning of my career when I thought I could do anything.
That's true. You were quite the high flyer in those early days.
Well, in my defense, I could do anything.
let's see what Death's Whisperer has to do in response.
Death takes many forms. Biblically speaking, goats are where you go to hell. So I will back up, and I will ram you like a goat.
That's Death's Whisper creeping me the fuck out again.
Biblical, also a bit of a Waiting for Godot reference.
A hit, a knockdown, and unconscious.
Oh, and he's down
and
again.
Grande is down. Will the
Let's
bear
stand
wake up from his hibernation in time to not receive that kiss of death?
Oh, so.
Grande, unmoving currently.
Sleeping with that natural athleticism.
There
you
goes
keep
that
talking
left
about.
arm again.
Well, unfortunately, that athleticism is very tiring.
And
However
it appears that
natural it may
his
be.
arm has completely fallen off.
Yeah, there goes his left arm, and most of the right arm is missing too. It's barely hanging on by threads.
Oh, she's doing the old wishbone maneuver. I've seen her do this before. It's never pretty, especially when she does it on
And
light.
he's not waking up. He's not waking up.
Oh, she's reaching down. She's going to go in for the grapple, the bear hug, and
Could this be?
Oh, and he's in the kiss of death. It's the kiss of death.
she goes forth with the headbutt on that poor little Mech and shoots the tasers into him. Oh, he is being electrocuted horribly, and the eject button is hit. Oso Grande is out of the match and has submitted your winner, Death's Whisper.
Just incredible stuff.
I hate fighting her.
Death wins every.
And staying true to brand with that whole death thing again.
Well, once again, on the long left timeline, she isn't wrong.
That was a hell of a main event that we had today. Victor, thanks for having me here at the
Judas,
table.
pleasure as always to share the table with you.
Indeed. Also, go fuck yourself.
Yes, that seems about right. Have fun cashing your check this week, asshole!
I want to thank everyone for joining us for Saturday Night Robot Fights tonight. It's been a pleasure to have you all in our live studio audience.
That was fun.
Yay!
Yeah, that last round there, even if you hadn't gone for the finisher, that Mech couldn't take much more.
No, it had no arms.
Almost missing both arms, almost
Missing both legs.
If you'd woken up, I was going to take one of the arms and club you.
I was gonna do too.
Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
That was a tremendous amount of damage done very, very rapidly.
So they've got a pretty good handle on how the game is played.
They're getting pretty good at it.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, it's fast, it's furious, without being the Fast and the Furious.
Just as over the top, though.
Oh yeah, but the acting is at least twice as good.
And we're
Hey, that
barely
one
even
guy
trying.
died. Be kind.
Which makes him a terrible actor now.
Well,
Unless he's just playing dead.
In which case,
this is sad. It's just sad. Wasn't he the cute one?
My apologies to the entire Walker family.
They're watching, for sure.
Now, the idea behind this, that you pointed out there with the monkey god, is that a lot of times
Yes, I know.
BattleTech
Last
gets really
Witcher.
slow.
I know.
So by using the BattleTech dice roller apps here, in fact, we're using it on 2 screens at once so that, for example,
Yeah.
Luke today was handling hit locations, while I was generating all of the 2 hit rolls, the consciousness rolls, and the initiative rolls.
It's a lot of things.
Yes, sometimes doing them well in advance. Like I would do 6 or 7 initiative rolls out and have it already plotted so I know who's going to be in the
I am
same.
freaking in love with how fast this is going. I'm not even gonna lie.
This is crazy.
I'm honestly shocked.
We literally
With the little
we did
experience
3
I have.
matches in the time it used to take us to do 3
3
turns.
rounds.
Just-
Yeah.
No, not even 3 rounds. 3 turns in 1 round.
That's true.
And part of that is, keeping track of modifiers in our head. And there's also a lot less movement for the sake of avoiding hits going on.
Because
here,
does it
you
even
know?
matter? It did a little bit.
Oh, yeah,
it was
no.
fast. So
I did
I
very
could-
little.
We could have made it so you never would have hit us though. Like if we were we
Okay.
were really playing it right, like
But it would have been
Run around.
like Benny Hill.
Yakety Sax would have been playing. We would have been paying
Which,
royalties for
expect
it.
to see that from some heel at some point or another to just
Oh,
fall on Benny
guaranteed.
Hill, somebody in a match,
Guaranteed.
not throw any strikes, just be running around like a crazy person, making it impossible for you to hit it. I Eventually, we will get to a point where you can see the dice counters, I promise, but we're not there yet.
We'll eventually get those on screen, I think.
Yep, we'll eventually have ways to put them on screen.
Or at least some of them.
Or, yeah, some of them. It's going to take a little bit of time to get to that.
We probably will be able to put like the rolls up, but not the locations or vice versa.
Yep, something along those lines. We'll be able to get you there. I promise we'll be there fairly soon, but not quite.
But come on, who's excited about this now? This is so cool.
Yeah.
3 matches.
3 matches in an hour with a lot of talking in between.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
longest match was the last match. It lasted how many rounds?
4?
4 rounds. We got through 4 rounds in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're in a good spot. What are we working on next week?
We're going to do a little bit more of fighting rehearsal. We're going to do some advanced maneuvers like evading and blocking.
Invading and blocking. I'm familiar with them.
That'll be good.
And
That'll be
I
good.
believe the match we have scheduled is going to be a King of the Ring match.
Oh, yay!
Ooh.
Which is a tournament style.
But everybody's against each other, right? Everybody's against everybody? Or we have teams?
And usually in King of the Ring, it's just like tournament style, like winner faces the next person, and it kind of goes like a gauntlet until.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the idea being, unlike traditional King of the Ring, where the opponent is generally fully recovered by the time opponent number 2 comes in. No, you're staying as long as you can stay.
Okay.
Okay.
It's like a
And if you knock somebody out, then you're staying until.
It's more like a gauntlet match as opposed to doing the tournament style.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yep. It's however long an individual can last, and we'll be randomly determining the order just before we start.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's so mean.
So you never know.
And yes, post-match melee. Of course, that's what bad guys do.
Oh, absolutely. You'll see some post-match. You'll have people come out and interfere and matches. That's just a thing. I mean, everything you've seen in wrestling, you're gonna see.
And yeah, mech hijacking is not out of the question.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to fight with.
If Talon can do it, wrestlers can do it.
For sure. I did it. Kate did it.
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
So yeah, I'm excited. I guess that's all we got for today. But 3 matches.
Yeah.
And this starts fighting in the locker room. I believe that they're releasing some new Mech Warrior RP rules later on this year from Catalyst Games that have to do with what people do outside of their cockpits. When we get to that point, you might very well see what happens when, Oso Grande decides that he wants to punch out Judas Paradigm in the locker room.
Yeah, you get to take a look at the sky.
Anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining us for another one of our big Stompy robot rehearsals here. I got to see a little bit more behind the scenes. Hopefully you're a little more excited for what is to come. And tell all your friends, maybe support the show in any way you can, and support all of our other lovely programming we hear off on the Zombie Orpheus Entertainment channel here on Twitch. And check out the Fantasy Network. There's some cool stuff going on right now with that.
Yeah.
Some really cool stuff.
There's like secrets.
So many things.
So many things.
I'm not sure what things we're legally
don't
allowed
know.
to say or
I
not,
don't
so
know
I'm just going to
things-
say check out the Fantasy Network because I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to say that.
I'm staying in the dark on purpose.
There you
I am
go.
not a lawyer.
I just know a few. Coincidence. Anyway, I hope you guys all had a good time. We'll see you all next week, or some of you, I hope to see some of you Monday. You want to see some Metaverse on Monday, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be here.
Who wants to see Metaverse on Monday? I do.
I do.
Who's going to be grading while watching Metaverse?
Anyway, love you all. We'll see you all next time. Bye.
Adios.